Hello. Oh, I want to make a review.
Hey guys, it's Slushie, and I know I'm doing it different here now. It's literally pitch black behind me. I'm using my flashlight to illuminate my face a little bit here, but I decided to do it different for this video. So today we'll be reviewing Saw 7, or Saw 3D, or Saw the Final Chapter. You just pick a name and run with it, whatever. But today we're just going to call it Saw 7.
I want to play a game. Game over.
So essentially, this movie came out back in 2010. Following Saw 6, kind of leaves you to wonder what's going to happen next. The ending, while it's nothing amazing, nothing shocking, nothing special, the only thing it really does is make you excited for what's going to happen in Saw 7. And so Saw 7 picks up exactly where Saw 6 left off. And we find out what happens to Detective Hoffman and stuff. It's fucking crazy. The man turns into like a serial killer. I mean, he's already a killer in this movie, if you want to call him a killer. I know it's kind of like sketchy the way that people refer to Jigsaw and Jigsaw's apprentices. They don't really call them killers. Like in the first Saw, Dr. Gordon says technically he's not really a murderer because, you know, the people do this to themselves. Essentially, they kill themselves. He puts them in these situations, but they kill themselves. In my opinion, that still makes him a murderer, or at least an accomplice to murder. So in that sort of way, he's a murderer, in my opinion. But either way, Detective Hoffman just goes ape shit, turns into like a standard slasher character type of guy, just goes around murdering people viciously. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. It's definitely one of my favorite entries. Period. When I originally saw this movie a while ago, like even back in 2017, I hated this movie. Couldn't stand this movie. I thought it was ridiculous, super cheesy, super goofy, dumb as fuck. And it also felt super cheap, which it still feels really cheap. Don't get me wrong, it still has a very cheap look to it. But in my opinion, most of the Saw movies do. Even the first one, pretty cheap. That's nothing really negative about the original Saw. I'm just saying these movies have all been pretty cheap looking, like as far as the effects go and the settings and stuff. But overall, this movie is like very thrilling, very exciting, and the one thing that does go out the window is morals. I swear to God, these traps, they don't really have. I mean, it's like a couple of them, you're like, yeah, you know, I could totally understand why these guys are here. Chester Bennington's in this movie. He plays a racist along with his friends. Crazy character for that dude to play. I love Chester Bennington, R.I.P., man. But that's like the only character in this movie where I'm kind of like, you know what? Those motherfuckers deserved it. Can't stand racists, period. I mean, there's no excuse to be a racist. I don't care what the fuck you had to say. It's wrong. So those people, they deserved it. They totally had that coming. And then you have people like Bobby Dagen's wife, who happened to just be married to Bobby, so that means she deserved to die? Because she went along with his plan? I mean, really? Come on. That's ridiculous. You're just trying to kill somebody for literally no reason. I mean, this movie just doesn't care about Jigsaw's ways anymore. Jigsaw made these traps and put people in these situations to make them learn a lesson. What is she going to learn? By, you know, burning her alive because of what her husband's done. I mean, that's not even her problem. Jigsaw would have ultimately no problem with his wife whatsoever. I mean, yeah, maybe she knew about what he did. You know, I guess. Fine. But she deserves to die because of his actions? No, that's just fucking ridiculous, man. I mean, seriously. Again, morals just go out the window. And I would say the thing that makes this movie so special is we find out who Jigsaw's real apprentice is. And by the way, incredibly shocking. I don't know about you guys, but when it happened, I didn't see it coming. I was like, what the fuck? It was one of those. I was like, whoa! Time out! What just happened? Dude, it's insane. I mean, out of all the people to be his apprentice, I was not expecting who they went with. And, you know, just for the sake of you guys being equally surprised if you have not seen Saw 7, I'm not saying shit about who it is. It's crazy. I feel like most people have already seen Saw 7 by now. But if you haven't, I'm keeping it a fucking secret because I want this to affect you guys like it did for me. I mean, I literally did one of those, hold on, pause, that just happened? And it did. So it's crazy as hell. The ending to this movie is fantastic and everything. It's perfect. And I'm still going to say it. I hope that in the future Detective Hoffman makes another appearance. Despite the way this movie ends, I believe this guy is a very strong guy, right? I mean, he had the reverse bear trap on him in Saw 6. He got out of that. He refused to die. He's been in a Jigsaw trap before, where he was chained up, he was trapped by Jigsaw in a previous film, which I think was like Saw 5. And then he gets chained to a pipe like Adam and Dr. Gordon in Saw 1. And that's how that movie ends, essentially, with Hoffman being chained to the pipe. And I just don't believe that the guy would be content to just die. I feel like he would just saw that fucking leg off. He would saw his own head off if it meant, getting out of the trap. I mean, he's just a survivor. He refuses to be knocked down. And even when he does get knocked down, he picks himself right back up. He's just a strong-willed character. He refuses to die, and he refuses to let go and to just stop fighting. So overall, he would not be content to just sit there and rot. I mean, that's just not Detective Hoffman. But either way, even if he doesn't, fantastic movie, fantastic ending. And again, it does have a really cheap feel to it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I do love the movie. But that's always been a problem with this movie, is it does look and feel really cheap. And a lot of the acting is very average. Maybe even below average, besides Detective Hoffman and Jill Tuck. It's like they didn't really focus on, the acting aspect and the whole morals thing. They kind of threw morals and good acting out the window. And you know what? I'm fine with it. The movie's entertaining. The movie's awesome. It's bloody. It's violent. Probably the most bloody in the series. It is off the wall. It is crazy. And it's a perfect way to end a series, even though, of course, it was sort of rebooted. It's like a partial reboot with Jigsaw, which we'll be talking about next. And then Spiral, which we'll be talking about after I go see the movie on Tuesday. So yeah, that's my review of Saw 7, or Saw the Final Chapter, or Saw 3D. Let me know down below what you guys thought about this movie. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you're not already. Hit that bell to get notified anytime I make a video or stream. Keep up to date with the channels, like some crazy going on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Save me, you should never break me. You're the thing that makes me be afraid of myself. Don't tell me you're sorry, just say a thing to stop me. Help me break the silence, come and save me from myself.